Hello, my lovelies and werewolves. Today is Sunday, and that means we will start off with a writing tip. Today's topic is research. Now that we have an outline, a vibe board, and a little bit of writing, you should have an idea of what information you need to make your story believable. Why is research important at this stage? Well, it can be very disruptive to have to stop the flow of writing to go and look something up, especially if you're in a place where you don't have internet or the resource handy. You may also be asking, why do I need to do research? Well, I have two very specific examples. The first comes from a book that was set in Arizona and New Mexico, two states that I know really well. At one point, the character is standing outside her Tucson home and remarks that she can see the Superstition Mountains in the east. I call BS. I was living in Mesa at the time when I read those lines, and I jumped up and looked out the window. Nope, they hadn't moved. The superstitions were just to the east of my location. The city of Tucson is roughly 110 miles south of Mesa, and there are numerous mountains between those two cities, with Tucson actually being right up against the Santa Catalinas. I quite honestly couldn't finish the book after that. I felt betrayed. The second was a more recent incident. I was watching a hiking video of sorts, and the creator was telling the story of the Sycamore Fire. This was a fire started by a hiker near Flagstaff, Arizona, which is surrounded by a pine forest and frequently gets snow. They even have a ski resort. It's called Snowball. Well, one of the opening images was of a hiker walking towards the head of the Superstition Mountains, which is over 160 miles away from where the fire took place. I instantly recognized this image because I had taken similar photos in the past. The creator also showed many photos with saguaro cacti in them. While there are cacti in Flagstaff, saguaros do not grow that far north. Obviously, this was made in Canva with the keywords sycamore and Arizona. But having done no actual research, the creator did not know that they were furthering the false narrative that Arizona is all desert and saguaro cactus. I could go on with other examples, but I think you get the picture. So 99.9% of people will never catch those types of mistakes. But for people like me, it shows a lack of respect for me as a reader, and I tend to forgo those authors in the future. The internet is a wonderful place, and you can truly learn anything, but you must be careful. When I was teaching, I always cautioned my students to consider the source and have multiple corroborating sources. So for the next few days, you need to consider what places, ideas, etc. that you need more information on. If your character says phrases in another language, don't just put it in Google Translate and call it a day. For instance, in Scottish Gaelic, thank you can be said as tapadalat or tapadalet. One is informal and one is formal. And for all my Gaelic speakers out there, please forgive my pronunciation. I'm just a beginner. But you get my meaning. Does your story take place in a town that you have never been to? Ask friends if they have been there. Ask for photos that they may have taken. Also, Google Maps can be a wealth of information. You can get a wonderful overview of the general layout as well as getting down to the street view. Do you have a lot of science? If you are unclear about a concept, read a book, watch a video, or perhaps email a professor at a university. they may know a little bit about the subject. Be creative, but be smart. You never know who is reading your book. Now I'm going to take a quick peek at my outline and identify places where I need to get some information. Well, I think you get the idea. I have a list of things I want to look up in my spare time. And now let's put the timer up and get some writing done. Okay, that 15 minutes went by so quickly. Once again, I'm pretty pleased with my progress. I hope you are too. And please join me again tomorrow for another writing session. See you tomorrow.